going to be taking us to go hunting. Oh, okay, we're talking now.
No, yeah, we're catching this.
But I'm eating food.
We just had a very good conversation and didn't record any of it. So, no, I hit the record button.
I'm eating food.
You eat anyway.
I don't want to eat.
That's what a mukbang is for.
That's
Eat.
disgusting.
No, what were you saying? Mouthful of food, go.
No, I'm not doing an ASMR with food.
Yeah, you want to hear them lips smack?
No, okay, all right. What were we just talking about?
I mean, shooting.
We'll use that in a better plural than just say.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true.
You go off of what your
I'm going to go off of what my...
What did you do this weekend?
All right, so really quick, before we jump off to the intro, this is one of our like weird side topics that we try to record from time to time. So recently I had some long-term friends come out from work that I worked with about, like 10 years ago. And Lynn
Where did you work with these guys with?
Telus. Yeah, I call center work.
Oh, yeah, the call center. Off of Sahara, right?
Yeah, Decatur and Sahara.
Yeah.
It's garbage. Still garbage to this day, but whatever. So they moved out to Cali a little while ago. They came out here, staying up in Mount Charleston. By the way, there's some really good hiking trails up there. Mm-hmm. Never showed up for us when we pulled up that little Trails app thing.
I forgot about the Trails app thing.
Yeah.
I remember that because I was very... Fuck, I forgot about that.
It never brought up anything near Mount Charleston. Now I was just flabbergasted. So we'll check out some hills up there, but it was gorgeous. Just it almost looked like someone had thrown a green screen in the background. It was just like beautiful white hills and everything. Mm-hmm. But my friend Dale drags me out. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna have breakfast and we're going shooting." Now, quick recap: Lynn has been trying to get me to go shooting for forever, and I felt so bad because I was like, "Yeah, we'll go."
He had to start this conversation off with, "I didn't cheat on you." And I'm like, if you have to say that.
I broke the ice because
you have to start off saying that,
right?
It's probably because you did cheat on somebody.
I have a little expended 9mm round, and I just put it on the table, and I just look at him like, I didn't cheat on you. He goes, I think you did. We go out shooting. Dale's got like 3 or 4 guns, 2 rifles, really good. It was just fun. We didn't have any targets. It was kind of a windy day. We went out to the Bureau of Land Management area.
That was over in Mount.
Saying that correctly?
That was over in Mount Charleston.
This was off of. Let me remember. It was Sky
Canyon.
Cold Creek.
Oh,
near the prison.
Cold Creek. Yeah. My dad would go ride the quads up there all the
time.
Yeah.
I
remember Cold Creek.
So we went up there. We went like maybe 10, 15 minutes past the prison. Pulled off, shot some stuff. But it wasn't enough for me. And so if you've listened to our podcast before, if you know anything about me, I hate guns. Absolutely hate them. As far as like the guns that shoot live ammunition, I have airsoft guns, I have play toy guns, but I just never had an affinity for real guns. So, shooting with them, kind of getting a quick rundown of ammunition and this and that. Got a few shots off. I was feeling okay. And then, my boy Dale drags me down to a gun store. What'd you call it? Was it called Ventura?
Ventura.
I
think Ace Ventura.
Yeah, Ace Ventura. So it's this Ventura gun store. I think it's a tiny little gun store in the cut. And I just saw, it felt like I walked into a GTA gun store. I was just going to see, it was just like prices pop up and I was like, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, give me some of that. It was just guns. And I don't know. It was like something primal in me woke up and it was like, I really want a gun now. I really, really want a gun now. It's terrible. It's really terrible. I felt bad. So I told Lynn and I was like, okay. So he's like, yeah, so we'll go shooting now. And we're going to go look at a gun. And yeah, so I'll, consider this part 1 into a possible journey of owning a gun.
I mean, yeah. I as a gun owner myself, especially when it comes to work and stuff like that, it's very... I get your concern about not wanting to have one or not being...
Your mic. Fix it.
It's right in front of my face.
Look, that's better. Good.
Okay.
Continue.
I get your concern about not wanting to have... not really be in the vicinity of what it is to actually own a gun, which a lot of people don't want to. But then it's like, I'd rather have it, not need it, than need it, not have it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it boils down to.
I was explaining to D the concept of knowing how to be properly trained when it comes to using a firearm. Like, anybody can go out into the desert and shoot a gun because you're going to shoot at rocks and targets.
Right.
And I gave them the comparison of, because I am trained, and I've trained before, how to use a gun more or less properly when it comes to trying to disarm or take somebody down in a professional sense.
Right.
And, because we have on our property ERT, emergency response team,
Ooh.
and all of them are ex-military, ex-law enforcement.
Big words,
so,
sir.
Yeah.
Big words.
They, I've gone through and seen them and participated in some of their stuff just because I am close with these guys when it comes to training at my academy.
Yeah.
So if I've been told this, and this is a good aspect of it, is like if I were to put you outside and let's say 100, 200 yards. You have a naked homeless man running at you with a knife. And I told you to shoot that man.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable with actually being able to shoot that person accurately? No, because
I can't say I would.
People's stances are wrong. The way they position the gun is wrong. The way that they're pointing is wrong.
Well, there's just overall panic adrenaline.
When it comes to the recoil and stuff like that. People tend to stay stationary, which it's like if you are actually firing a gun relatively actively, you know that you're not holding it on your side. You're pulling it from your belly button line, from your waistlining. You're bringing your hands up to your chest and you're pushing forward, and you're walking in a sentinel kind of way, directing towards that target, rather than I'm gonna walk backwards or stand still and hope that these rounds hit. I gotta make that target get closer.
You're the horse
sight.
in the burning barn. You're the horse.
Exactly. So it's I think it's a good thing. I think it's good that everybody kind of get the experience to know what it is, especially with not to scare people, but this shit going on in the Ukraine.
You just have to be realistic.
You got to be realistic to come across a situation of I need to know what it is in order to protect myself and my family, because I don't know what's going to happen. I was just talking to a coworker about this yesterday. He's an ex-Marine. Like old school Marine. Like his name is, I guess I can put his name. His name is Gil. We were just talking about this day or two ago, and he is like a Marine. He talks very like dominantly like this all the time, and is always yelling, but he's super friendly. That dude will take a bullet for you. Like literally, he's been shot twice.
Oh,
one in his back and one in his knee.
All the Gils I've met have been military for some reason.
He's a great guy, but he was talking about this shit that happened in Ukraine, which we'll touch on real quick.
Yes.
Trying to convince me more or less, and I get it because everybody's panicking about what's going on, is that, and I know this isn't right, and like I said, I'm not, the legal drafting age in the United States is 25, and it goes all the way up until...
I thought it was 18.
No. It's
Did
25.
they push it back?
It's always been 25.
No, it was 18.
18 is where you can be drafted. 25 is when they stop you from being drafted.
The cutoff.
Yeah, the cutoff,
okay,
the cutoff
I see
is
what you
18,
mean.
but what they have now implemented is that the cutoff, if you are drafted through, is up to 38.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean realistically in our 32s we're getting drafted for anything, but he's like, be
it
prepared.
Still puts that out there.
Because the pipeline got pulled out of Ukraine, and now that Russia can kind of just do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
They're pushing that there may possibly be a world. Somebody told me, like, we're going to be having World War IV coming real soon. And I sit there and stare at them like,
when did World
III
War III
Where was World War III?
What?
I mean, Return of the Jedi or Attack of the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars, as much as it did happen, that was in a different galaxy. I don't remember there being...
Far away. All right, but before we take this any step further, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. Hello, everybody.
Hello. I forgot that was a thing.
I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Project Airwaves.
Hello.
All right, let's just jump back into it.
Okay.
We had to jump out of the pool for a second. Now we're jumping back in before it gets too cold. Hey, now.
It is very cold outside.
It is.
This wind.
I need this weather to figure its mind out. So it was hot, then it rained, then it got windy, now it's cold.
Yeah.
And we're only in February.
That's fucking bipolar.
Like, we almost hit 80, almost like 2 weeks ago, a week or two ago.
Next week, it's jumping back up to the high 70s, close to 80.
Right.
And then it's going to drop back down.
What is this? Vegas doesn't have, like, proper transitions. It's just, like, chaotic.
We've always had just summer and winter. There is no fall and there's no spring.
There is, but it's a wacky, weird time in between because we don't get that smooth where it's like, oh, it was 70 today and it dropped down to 60 and then 50 and then 40. No, it's like, oh, it's 80 in the high of the day. So the peak of the day, say like 2 p.m., it's like 80.
You know what's going to fucking suck is right after my birthday, I'm going to be having to go to, I'm going to have to be going to Detroit, Michigan for about a week to train new instructors to become defensive tactics and such, so they can run new people. Yes. And I know the weather in Detroit has to be fucking...
Oh, you're going to be boomed, my friend.
I think it's going to be probably...
You better bundle up, and you better make sure you get some hand warmers because it's going to be snowing.
I know, and then right from then and there, I go over to... Beau Rivera, Mississippi. Beau Rivera or Gold Strike. I don't need, dude.
So now you're just gonna be sweating for no reason.
The fucking I don't know, man. Like, so 2 weeks of that, just dealing with the back and forth weather. I'm almost guaranteed it won't even be like a COVID kind of sick. I'm probably
I was gonna say you're gonna catch. I'm gonna catch something
because my body's not gonna know between that and the timeline of going from 3 hours ahead to 2 hours ahead to back to Vegas.
And then back.
I don't feel realistic.
It might just be like one big long ass jet lag.
I guess I'm not looking forward to it. I just want to get it out the fucking way. To be honest, because I'm not gaining anything from it. But
you might meet a fine group of people. You might find somewhere you want to stay. Like, you like, hey, I could move out to Detroit.
Nobody fucking moves out to Detroit.
It's like, it's nice over here. It's cozy.
Fuck no. Sorry, Detroit, but I have no interest in moving out there.
I don't know. Like I brought up before, after my brother bought his house in Pahrump, that's kind of where I've been fixated. We go out there like once a week or so and do our other things for our other channel. But it's just crazy, like how the drastic difference, like Pahrump is only an hour and a half drive away, but it's like going from Vegas, which feels like, the Jetsons, to going to, and I'm sorry for any of you who live out in Pahrump, to the Flintstones.
I was thinking about that too.
I love it though. It's just the simple fact of it's your house, it's your land. You might have neighbors, you might not, and you could just do whatever you want with it. Like that was the biggest thing that just made me want to live out there. People are doing so much. They might have just a double wide trailer, but now they have these ultra high wide awnings, and they have RVs and buses and all types of random stuff. I was like,
I mean, the only reason why you're going out to Pahrump is probably to cook meth. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, unfortunately, yeah.
Because there's nobody out there to watch you cook meth. So if you're getting your Walter White on out there.
But seeing as I don't do meth, for me.
You don't have to do the meth. But if you cook the meth, Pahrump is the place to go.
No.
He said no.
No.
He's defending his homeland in case he moves there.
No, that's not me. I can't be that guy.
Hey, that's what Walter White said until he became Breaking Bad.
I like my hair, and I'm not going to die anytime soon.
Just shave your hair and say you are the one who knocks.
Yeah, science. All right, so we're going to jump off into just a quick little topic, and it's mainly because I've been curious to know if we can figure out what Lynn is afraid of.
I have no fears.
He says he's fearless.
You have no power here. Wait, side note. I was going to say this before because we were talking yesterday about doing the podcast.
Yes. Oh, yes, you had a dream.
I had a dream. I was like, that dream was so realistic, and I got so excited about it because I thought something was happening to me, so I thought we could talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, dear.
And then I wake up and I'm like, well, that didn't really happen. But
tell us more.
I had, from what I vaguely remember, and obviously I don't keep like a fucking dream journal or anything, but I was out hunting because what my plan is, the one thing that I really want to do this year is take my dad and my brother to go hunting. Yeah. Like actual go hunting to shoot something called a mule deer. Yeah. Which it's like a deer the size of a fucking mule.
Yeah,
that's why they call it.
Big
ass fucking deer. Because people don't realize this is that when you go get your food from places, they don't think about where it comes from.
Oh, yeah. And half of it's most of it's processed.
It's processed, exactly. But if you've ever had something that's like an actual game animal, you notice that the color, the texture of the meat is so much richer.
Everything's different.
It's got so much more nutrients in it because that animal's out there hoofing it and trying to survive.
And they're herbivores. Yeah. So they're just constantly eating vitamins and minerals.
And they're walking and training all the time. So you get your own meat like that, and you're going to feel just fucking fantastic.
Well, didn't you say you can get a lot of testosterone from red meat?
Well, the thing is that, so they do have butchers here in town. There's a couple of them that serves game meat. And if you've ever had game meat before, there's a spot called the Butcher Block right near my house, and they have game meat. And I've had pieces of meat from there and other places before, and it's just a huge difference. I like, not to go so much into details, but it's like if you eat a piece of elk, like steak, and let that digest for 2-3 hours, you are like rock hard, ready to go. You could probably punch it through a wall.
Wow.
And hang a coat rack on it.
Wow.
It's just, there's so much energy because
the more you know.
The amount of energy you get from an animal that was actually out in the wilderness surviving, opposed to it being on a farm being slaughtered, being cooked. So I've always thought about it. You know, I'm big. I'm not big on hunting because I've never done it before, but I've been really interested.
It's fun. I'll tell you that.
I think it'll be fun. But I was having a dream about it. I was having a dream that, and I don't know where the fuck this came from, but did you see the Lord of the Rings? The
trailer?
No. I'm talking like the Hobbit.
No, I never saw it.
So the elves, when they would ride out, there was one elf that was the head of all the elves, and he rode out on a giant elk with these massive horns. That was his horse.
Was that Smith?
That was Lord of the Rings, the original one.
Yeah.
The Hobbit was obviously
it was a prequel.
So
okay, so
it might have been
them.
Smith. I don't know, but they didn't ride horses. They were riding fucking deers and shit.
Yes, because they were nature nymphs.
We were hunting, and for some reason, we're riding fucking deers.
Did you shoot an?
We're sitting on like my dad is sitting on a moose. I'm riding a mule deer, and I think my brother might have had a mule deer or something else as well. And we're riding it out to go hunt other animals.
What?
And something happened where I went to go. There was a mixture of like a deer and a bear, just kind of hoofing it through the areas. And I'm like, oh shit, that's a hybrid animal. So I have to kill it. I have to kill it because I need to eat it and I need to know what I'm going to do with it and all this, and this. And as I get over there, this animal stands up on its hind legs and it looks over at me and it smells me because animals can smell downwind.
Downwind, yeah.
Pretty fucking far. So because for some fucking reason, this monstrosity of an animal, half deer, half bear, like man bear pig.
Deer bear.
Yeah, it was a deer bear pig. It decides to start running towards me with its on its hind legs.
You were fucking with Sasquatch.
Yeah, sprinting towards me, breaking through everything. So I panic because I'm like, oh, I don't want my dad and my brother to get killed.
Yeah.
So I kick my elk in on the side with my spurs, and we start galloping towards this thing.
Start having a
and I'm
standoff?
firing rounds at this thing, and this thing is just like, it's so epic. I have like Fabio hair, so my hair is just majestically just flowing in the wind, like the Old Spice guy. Like I'm riding, like I'm half centaur, riding with this thing, and then I get to the point where I'm about to go shoot it, and I fall off, and all of a sudden my deer took off a different direction. My dad and my brother are still in the back, like, what the fuck are you doing? Run away. I'm like, no. So I'm sprinting towards this thing with my rifle, still trying to fire rounds, and this bear elk is just blowing out trees, moving shit out the way. It gets right to me, and then I don't know if you've ever seen Skyrim, where you fight a troll for the first time.
Oh, yeah?
And obviously you're not at the level you're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So when it hits you,
you just
it just sends you into space. That's what happened to me. He hit me, and then I got an out-of-body experience of my body ragdolling out into space, and then I woke up. And I was like, well, that's not something that could have happened.
Okay, Pocahontas, the last Airbender.
I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know what I ate before I went to sleep, but that was quite the story. So sorry.
Wow.
I was going to talk about that in the podcast as if it had happened to me, and then it didn't happen to me because it was a dream.
I think they're going to want to know more about your dreams,
I think
bro.
I just need to stop taking the red pill and go back to taking the blue pill.
I don't know. Maybe you should take the purple pill.
I don't think there is a purple pill. I'm colorblind, so all the pills look the same color.
Wait,
anyways.
so technically, if you take the blue pill, that's like taking Viagra.
I don't think that's how the blue pill works.
And that's what makes you wake up? It's all the blood flow?
Either that or the bear meat. It's something else. Okay, so what is it that you wanted to talk about today?
So I wanted to talk about fears and phobias. Yes. And like I said, mainly because one, it's not something it's not a topic most people are ready to talk about and are comfortable talking about. So I wanted to go ahead and just, fan all my dirty laundry out there to some extent and kind of talk about some of the fears and phobias I have. And then we're going to get Lynn to think real hard because he's pretending like he's Judge freaking Dredd over here. And we're going to think real hard about some of the fear and or fears that he may have. All right. So I'm going to pull up two of my fears. Okay. And I'm going to see if I can read the definition to you so that way you get a better understanding.
What are your fears? What are you afraid of? Don't laugh. I mean, I can't have food in my mouth, but I can't promise you that.
I'm afraid of heights.
Oh, what is that called?
And I do believe that's called acrophobia.
Acrophobia?
I think so.
Like an acrobat?
Yes, it's called acrophobia.
You know what? Heights suck. I'm not a fan of them, but I'm not afraid of them.
No, this isn't. No, so okay.
Oh, you know what? I know that of you because we had this story about when we went cliff jumping.
Yeah.
And it took almost like half the day
to get you jumping.
And mind you, this is to show that I'm not afraid of heights, is that we were jumping off. We've had this story before, if you were a previous listener, of us going to Nelson's Landing.
Yes.
They had the 40-foot jumping spot, the 60-foot jumping spot, and an 80-foot. And the 80-foot had so much.
We were at
the basic one. We
40.
Were at 40
yeah.
feet. But 40 feet in the air is still relatively fucking high for most
good.
people. And I remember you took so long to do it, and then for some odd reason you had to slap me in the chest. To jump off, to knock the wind out of me, and then you go and hit the water and almost drown. I'm like, well, can't save you because I have no oxygen in my body because you deprived it of me.
Yes. Yeah. So, well, then that's what's funny. I was very sheltered as a child. My mom was trying to make sure I never got hurt, never broke anything, never blah. So as I got older and I realized, life is like a box of chocolates, I was just like, I need to take advantage of opportunities. So right around the time I moved, me and Lynn.
You said rada.
Right
around the time or rada time?
Rada.
Sorry, go ahead.
So right around the time me and Lynn moved out together, was around like 19, 20.
No.
I'm a year older than you.
You were older. You were
so you were like, no, because we were drinking.
We were in our 20s. When we moved in, I barely gotten out of high school.
Yes.
I'm talking barely. And I graduated when I was...
When did we start drinking?
18.
Was that before 21?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't before 21?
We were drinking before 21. Yeah.
No, because I was probably 18.
I remember when I tried to impress Notch, we were like, I don't know, 12, 13. I was like, I like Colt 45. And then Raymond just dug into me.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was... Oh, good times. So yeah, we were about 19, 20-ish. We were kind of getting into more of the teenage life where it was like, I just moved out of my mom's house. I'm experiencing ultimate freedom. I'm blowing most of my check on dumb shit. So we would not only have a lot of parties, but we would go on a lot of random ass adventures. Hella random. And I think, was it Megan that brought up the cliff jumping thing, or was it her friend?
No, it was Megan and Jesse.
Megan and Jesse.
Yeah, Megan and Jesse.
Yeah. So they brought up going cliff diving, blah, blah, blah. Now, so you know about my first fear, my fear of heights. Okay, so now we're going to go into my second fear, my fear of large bodies of water.
Oh, so you had two of the worst.
Oh, yeah, I have quite a few. All right, so it's called thalassophobia.
Called a what now? What is it?
It's called thalassophobia. Thalassophobia.
Thal, like T-H or T-I?
Thalassass phobia. Thalass.
That's a stupid.
Phobia.
It's stupid.
Shut up, it's real.
Okay.
So that is an individual's fear of deep water. Okay. So now, like he said, we were cliff dumping. Mm-hmm. Wow, just taking dumps off cliffs.
That's the only way you can do it.
We were cliff jumping. So not only do I have a fear of heights, but I also have a fear of large, deep bodies of water. So as you know, if you go cliff jumping, you have to jump into a large, deep body of water, or else you're going to break all your bones. So I'm one of those people where I was afraid of a lot of stuff growing up. And so I just decided to kind of take my fear by the balls and punch it in the face and just run. So trying to find little ways to face my fears. So that's what kind of led into that story that kind of had very little background or pretext, because I just said, I almost drowned, but that's why I almost drowned. I had not only had jumped off an extremely high height, I was now in a large body of deep water. And so all of my fears, or at least those two.
Colorado River?
No, where we were?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Colorado
River. I thought
River.
It was Lake Mead?
No, Lake Mead leads into the Colorado River, which is behind...
I wasn't paying attention. I was
because
just driving.
there was boats out there.
There were boats out there, yeah. As a matter of fact.
The Colorado. Like, I don't even think now... I haven't been out there in forever, but you've seen the water levels of how bad Lake Mead is.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Low. I'm sure that spot in Nelson's Landing.
It's
I
gone.
didn't mind jumping back then because I knew the body of water was deep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it now because the water's probably gotten so low. I would be afraid I'd probably hit something.
Yeah, especially on the way down, because we were really close to the rock face.
So I feel like to go forward when it comes to these phobias, the reason why people tend to have them is because they've never been an experience to get out of them.
Not necessarily.
I never had an issue with heights because I've done that stuff. I've jumped around in relatively high areas. And I've never been afraid of water because my mom used to be, I think it was she was a lifeguard.
Yeah.
Back in Ohio.
I do remember that way back when you told me.
So she taught me how to swim. So I can tread water relatively well. And I'm like a freaking dolphin. I can swim for quite some time without having to feel like I sink. The one time that I was ever afraid was when this individual decided to drag me into the depths of hell because he couldn't stay afloat.
Yes, well, and a lot of that came from the panic, because I had already established the fact. Now, I can swim. I just prefer not to, but I can. I was swimming. I got a good halfway, 3/4 of the way.
And it's after you had seen Rob swim across, and that man was like 400 pounds.
Yeah, and he just made it look like...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whales can tread water for a very long distance.
What kind of messed me up towards the end was I let my panic kick in, my fear, and so I wasn't treading water properly. I wasn't kicking properly. I wasn't thinking straight. I wasn't breathing when I should have. So I'm hyperventilating in the middle of what felt like the ocean for me. I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
Gosh, this is an astronaut motion.
So that's
you know about going down in the deep.
Look, I don't want to know. Okay, Adele can stay there. Have fun, darling. I'm good. So that's what a lot of hurdles that hold me back when it comes to doing more fun stuff was I was so afraid of my own fear that I just decided I needed to overcome it. So I would do semi-stupid stuff or half-thought things and blah. So, there's one more fear. There's one more fear I got.
You got an arsenal of fears.
Uno más. Okay, we're going to look up this one. And this one comes with an explanation because I don't want to hear no flack from nobody.
What are we looking at? What do you got?
Fear of the dark.
Are you afraid of the dark?
I'm not afraid of the dark. So it's one of those things where, because I'm an empath, I need to feel everything. And it's kind of weird how your sight kind of is an affirmation of what's around you. So if the lights were to go out right now, everything would be fine because I could feel you in the room. I know you're here. I can feel your presence.
That's how I am.
It's when I'm in the dark and there's no one around and I can't feel anything. Then that's when my mind starts going nuts because I don't know. It's almost like it's reassuring to know somebody else is in the room with you.
Yes, I get it because I'm the same way. The reason why me and D link so well is because I am empathetic. I'm my mother's child. I know I don't advertise it very well to a lot of people around me. I can be very hard and cold at the same time, like a not giving a fuck attitude, which is just I've put that persona up to shield myself from hurting from other people's emotions because my empathy puts me in a rut.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm a mother's child. I can get depressed just as quick as somebody else. But when I get down there, I'm stuck down there.
Right.
So I've pulled myself out of this level to not be like my mother and make sure that I harden every aspect of what is that. If I'm afraid of something, I'm going to put myself in it. I was afraid of snakes after that incident we had with the fucking snake in the cave. I've been afraid of snakes, and then look what I did. I went and bought a fucking boa constrictor. A pretty decent-sized boa constrictor who had already bitten me twice, and when I got bit, I was like, this isn't as scary as I thought it was.
No,
so
but I'm not going to own a fucking snake.
Same thing with firearms. I wasn't a fan of firearms.
Yes.
Put myself in that aspect of being around firearms.
Yeah.
I've gotten to this point where I don't want to have some fear control what it is that I'm doing.
Exactly.
I do not like flying, but I'm flying all the time now.
Yeah.
There's things that I do not like. There's a lot of things that I don't like. And I don't want to be pessimistic about it anymore. I'm real with what it is. There are a lot of things that I don't like, but there is infinitely nothing that I am really afraid of because that would require me to have no aspect to want to do anything. I will do anything at least once. And that's just for a growing aspect. I don't want to be in this, my 50s or 60s or 70s, barely being able to walk and be like, fuck, I wish I'd have done this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd rather do it now. As long as I know it's not going to like kill me.
Right.
Like I know it's like a none for none kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, my boy, shout out to Chris, one of our patrons.
Hey.
His birthday's coming up this week. So
Happy
we're
birthday.
going to be going to Bryan Head.
Yeah, nice.
He wants to go snowboarding.
Nice.
I haven't done it.
We've never.
Haven't done it.
No.
We used to go up to Bryan Head all the time. So we're in the exact same spot where my dad had the cabin.
Yes.
And we're going to be going up to Bryan Head.
That's going to be exciting.
And I'm down to snow, but, I've heard a lot of people get fucked up and die from that shit.
If you go off the beaten path.
You're going pretty fast, you get all bruised and beaten and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, with my profession, like, for the next few days, I'm going to be doing, I'll be riding a bike.
Right.
Which I was just talking to you about that. Like, not to anybody listening, I mean, excluding you, Rios. I love you, but that's your job now. Riding a bike is something that not a lot of us do in our later years.
Yes.
Especially in Vegas. Everybody drives or takes the bus.
Right.
So riding a bike is like, I was riding one today to get prepared to go train to become a bike instructor for the other properties. And I'm going to be doing that next few days. And it made me a little nervous, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go do that shit anyways. So snowboarding will be the same thing. Yes, it makes me nervous, but I'm not going to stop it from...
Well, and I think... And you make a good point. I think there's a difference in having a fear or a phobia of something as opposed to letting something hold you back.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know how to say that I'm afraid of something because
it almost makes you sound like you surrendered to the fear.
You're surrendered to that fear, and like you said, of it, and that's a good aspect of it. Like, it'll hold you back to ever go out to an ocean and swim.
To an extent,
because you know the body of water, it's going to fucking panic you. Right. To like, I'll never not try to do it.
Yes.
May or may not like it. Yeah, probably not.
Right.
I'm not going to be ideal about it, but it's not going to be like, oh, fuck, I'm so afraid I can't do this. I feel like people put fear in this aspect of it scares me to not wanting to do anything at all, opposed to, it's not, I don't like it, but fuck it, let's try it
and I think that's the more extreme side of things because, I mean, like we just discussed, I have these phobias, but while I will hesitate to act on them, I will. Eventually, I'll make it work. And so, like, by the way,
3 years later,
me and you are going skydiving. That's on my bucket list. Yeah, so before we're 40,
I think that'll be fun. I would rather skydive than bungee jump because I know bungee jumping. There's too much chance. You know what? You're getting more out of the skydiving,
right?
There's a spot here in town.
Yes, there's a few.
Yeah, there's a few here in town. I was just talking to one of my coworkers about that, and she was saying that she had gone skydiving like a year or two ago, and she said it is expensive and
it's worth it.
But it's worth it. It's worth it, and you're in the air for. Not that
it's
long.
A few minutes.
It's a few minutes.
It's not like 30. I think you're in there for like all of 5, maybe 10 minutes or so.
I would 100%.
And they record it, so I was like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I would.
I got to do that because that's my ultimate fear is falling out of a plane, and that's what I mean. Like when it comes to having fears and phobias, it's one of those things. Like for me, I'm afraid of the dark because my brother traumatized me when I was younger. No, none of that weird stuff. He would, because he's 6 years older than me, and he was just a jerk. He would, like if I was laying under the blanket, because I like to just hang out on the floor a lot. If if I was laying under the blanket, he would pull the blanket over me and then block off all the exits in the blanket.
I remember when I was younger, I used to fight with my mom because I used to try. She would have to put a shirt over my head, and I would panic. Because I would think I couldn't breathe, and I would be afraid of something. I would get claustrophobic because my mother's claustrophobic, and I would get in a panic because she would throw it on, and I would just start freaking out. And in my head now, I'm like, why the fuck am I doing that? Like, why am I freaking out over having to have my head closed for a second? But I'm also, not that I'm afraid of it, but you're not going to get a lot of individuals that are going to be able to go to a cave where it's so small, where it's like your chest is pinned against the wall kind of stuff because you can't.
Because you told me about one of your climbing expeditions, and there was me, no.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I remember this was when I'd left one of the retail companies I'd worked with, and I knew about the spots because you remember he was a friend of Nisha, Jeff Iddings. Remember him?
Jeff who?
Jeff. They used to call him
Jeff Fafal?
No, he was one of the kids that we used to hang out with. He was always shredded, and he would always tie his shirt around his neck, so we used to call him like Super Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Fafal.
Is that?
That's what I call.
Okay, well,
so whatever.
He was the one who showed me that place a long time ago, and it's a cave somewhere here in town. I don't know where the fuck it's at. It might be Lone Mountain, probably not. No, I don't feel like it's Lone Mountain. I can't remember where it's at, but that cave, the way that it is, it's a cave inside of a cave. Oh. It's a mountain inside of a mountain. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of jagged edges, and it peaks all the way up inside the mountain. So you get to a point where your chest is pinned up against the rock.
Yeah.
And your back is on the wall.
Yeah.
And you're having to slide over and down in order to get to the other side. No. The thing is that you can't stop. You can't go backwards because your body gets stuck to it, so you have to push forward.
Right.
And those are like, it sucks.
Yeah.
But did I die? No.
But see, for me, I have to be realistic. I know those are tight spaces for little people.
Yes and no. I mean, you know how far your body can push. And if you were locked in a panic, even big people would get out of that spot.
You would, but you're going to have some scrapes and bruises you didn't intend for. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's my only thing. It's not a matter of, I'm afraid to just do it at all. It's, what if I get stuck? Mm-hmm. What if I get pinned in?
Now,
what
this
if I
is the
can't
biggest
move?
thing, and I've learned more than ever, and I used to be like this when I was a lot younger. I hate with a passion the what ifs.
Yeah.
Because if I live my life on what if all the time, I'll never do anything.
Right.
So I will never, and that's one of my primary rules, is I will never live on a what if. If I look at something and you see disaster going around, and I start thinking of, well, fuck, what if this goes wrong? What if that happens? What if this? I'll never do it. Well, opposed to, I'm not saying YOLO is the thing to go. You only live once, but it's like, let's just fuck it. Let's give it a try.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, this happens. Best case scenario is this. If I display too many what ifs, it stops me from enjoying the moment that actually pushes through. And I hear about it a lot from people where they're like, I've never done anything until you've shown me this, or vice versa. And it's like, because I would like to be that person that pushes, like equivalent to go shooting a gun.
Exactly.
Or going skydiving. I'd like to be that person to experience that because Chris, when we go, this will be his first time snowboarding. Cool. Yeah. I'd like to experience that with you because that is a very cool, memorable thing.
Right. And that's what it boils down to. It's, am I going to let my fear stop me from making positive memories? Because we wouldn't have that story to talk about. That cliff diving experience would be way more boring to tell people about had I not almost drowned. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Had I not tried to face my fear and ultimately panicked, but had I not tried to face my fear in general,
you did it.
I did it, and that's what I'm saying.
Done it.
I did it. I don't focus on the fact I almost drowned. No, because actually, the fact that I got dragged out of water by a 90-pound redhead,
she dragged us both out of the water.
Maybe 95 pounds wet was just it just made it even more miraculous. But that's the point. It's for Lynn, it was just a cliff diving experience. For me, it changed a good chunk of my life because it's like, okay, I'm afraid, but I know I can overcome it. I'm afraid, but I have to conquer this type situation. And I like that it's almost like life has just pushed me into those situations where I have to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because doing security, that was probably the biggest thing that really made me mentally force myself to deal with everything.
You don't have a choice.
You don't exactly.
I've been saying this 100 times.
You can't check off a box and be like, no, I don't want this. I don't want that.
You don't get a fucking
You're
choice.
security. You put on the uniform. You clock in for the day. Anything's gonna go down.
No,
anything.
I will. Not.
I've gotten in fights with drug dealers, thugs, pimps, prostitutes. I've gotten in fights with everybody.
Because you worked off of, what was it, the wine marketplace?
Yeah, on the strip right across from City Center.
You were all in the fucking strip. So
I was in the thick of it. You know what I'm saying?
The grossest part of the fucking town.
So I worked in the nightclub. I worked in a LGBT nightclub. I worked at Hakkasan in the MGM.
I remember Hakkasan.
The LGBT one's called Allure. It was mainly for men, but it's also women there. No, I think it closed.
Yeah.
But I've been forced into, and not to mention, I'm forced in these situations in the middle of the night. So we're talking like 2, 3 a.m. Ugh. It might be me and my boy, or it's just me. and I have to figure out, I have to really bullshit my way out of a paper bag in some situations to conquer a situation.
Builds
so
character.
It builds character. So
Joe.
it further showed me that even though you're afraid of something, the best thing to do is to challenge it head on, as opposed to running away from it. Because, like Lynn said, the what ifs can come into play, and the doubts and the
fuck the doubts,
psyching yourself up and stuff like that.
Ifs.
Just do it. I went ziplining.
Wait, where'd you go ziplining at?
Me and my girl. This was 2 years ago. I want to say about 2 years ago.
I did the link and it was trash.
No, it wasn't the link. It was off of Fremont Street.
Oh, the Fremont Experience.
I think.
Yeah.
I want to say yeah.
Okay, I've been to that one.
It was decent.
I've done the link.
I couldn't enjoy it because I wear glasses and I had to take them off.
Yeah.
So it was like,
it's not worth. It takes longer to get on this damn thing, and you have to watch a tutorial.
Yeah, we were in line for like 2 hours
just to ride it for what, maybe
like a minute or two. Yeah.
The one that I really want to do, and I keep forgetting about it, is
Flamingo.
The Rio. Yes.
Yeah, the Rio.
Yeah, because it's literally from building to building. And it's
my god!
You're so much higher up than the other two.
There will be urine and feces raining from above.
It'll probably dissipate before it hits the fucking ground. You're so high up, it'll just evaporate.
It'll just turn into nothing.
It'll turn into dust.
So I'm like, I didn't know it was supposed to rain today. It wasn't.
Why is it?
It was me.
No, it was me. Why is the air smell of asparagus right now?
See, my thing is, if I want to go skydiving, that's kind of the next level before skydiving.
Well, you know what, man? Let's do it this year. Why not?
I'm gonna have to say okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to say okay.
Because what else do you got to wait for? Put a couple bucks together here every once in a while. We could shoot a little video while we're doing it.
Oh, do it for the brand.
For the brand.
Do it for the brand.
Do it for the brand. I say, and this is a big thing, is I'm a not a glutton for adventure, but I do enjoy.
We're what do they call them? Shit, the word was in my head and it went away as soon as you stopped talking. Adrenaline junkies.
Yeah,
we like the thrill of a good rush.
I like the feel of a good rush, and that's a big thing. Is I like to be able to enjoy an experience that actually shows. It gives me a perspective in life. And it's like I want to be able to. We spend so much time, just to kind of wrap all this up.
Yeah.
We spend so much time working a 9 to 5.
Yes.
And we're spending so much time, and I preach this a lot with a lot of people, if I can put this in the best possible aspect. We spend Monday through Friday working 9 to 5 for a company that isn't our own.
Yep.
We're constantly having to push and grind and be exhausted mentally, physically, and emotionally to make money for people that we'll never see, for a company that really cares minimal to nothing about you in order to collect a check. And the biggest thing that I do pride myself on, that I really try, and people tell me it's that I do overdo my schedule and I am constantly exhausted, is I try the minute that I get off of work, I have to do something for myself.
Yes.
I will go to the gym because I do enjoy the gym. I will do the podcast because I enjoy that. Go hiking, go swimming, go surfing, go snowboarding, go skydiving, concerts. That constant thing of having something to look forward to is what it is right now in our busy lifestyle of what it is to actually live.
And it gives you shit to reflect on when nothing's happening.
So you can actually reflect on having an enjoyable life, opposed to I worked from January to December of 2022 and all I did was my basic 9 to 5.
Yes.
With my weekends off, where I might go drink at a bar that I forgot about and then nothing happened. I want to go and work for something that makes me grow as an individual, because I'm spending so much time working for someone that doesn't think anything about me.
Yes, and that leads into multiple streams of income, but that's going to be on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Just in case you've made it to the end, thank you so much. We like, love, and appreciate you. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, also give us a comment, feed the algorithm, bump us up there. To our patrons, we love you. Thank you so much. To any and all of you out there who are not a patron, go ahead and check the links in the descriptions down below. We have a Teespring store. I fixed all the links.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I fixed them. So now when you click on our Teespring link, it'll take you to our merch store. Lynn just launched his line of merch. I got my line of merch, and then we have the Project Airwaves line. So I'm sure you'll have more than enough options. Go ahead and pick something out. Show us some love. You spend some money. We get some money. Everybody's happy. Go ahead and check us out on all of our social media. Once again, links in the description down below. Len, is that all you got for today?
That's all me, man. That's all I got. I tell you what.
Goddamn. Propane and propane accessories.
I only sell propane and propane accessories.
I'm okay, Dad.
Boy.
I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Keep your head in the clouds.
Keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
Project Airwaves signing out. We'll catch you in the next episode. You did so good.
Real good.